Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us this evening. Today we are taking a look at our Borrowbox service. So Borrowbox is an app that offers you free access to thousands of ebooks and audiobooks completely free of charge once you have your library card. It has been designed as an app, so it is best used on your tablet or your phone. Now I will do a quick overview of the website version of it as well, but just to bear in mind, if you are going to be using a desktop version of it, say on a laptop or a computer, desktop computer, you will need to download a bit of additional software called Adobe Digital Editions. All that software is built into the app, so you don't have to worry about that. So we'll go through both. I'm going to focus primarily on the app, as I say, because that's how it was designed for use, but I will show you the website or desktop version of it after that. So the first thing is, if you haven't already got Borrowbox, you'll find it on your App Store or Play Store. You can see here what it looks like. Once you have it downloaded, just open, and it'll ask you to sign in with your library details. Now, similar to the magazines we looked at last night, you will only have to do this once if it's your own device. There's no call to sign out after every use. In fact, it's probably a bit of a pain if you do, because you need to re-download all your books or audiobooks as you go along. So we are looking for Monaghan County Libraries. Again, similar to the magazines last night, it's not your branch library, it's the county library service. So we're looking for Monaghan County Council Library Service. And then you enter your library barcode number. Again, you find that on the back of your library card. And then the 4-digit PIN. So if you have got your PIN, you will need to contact the library for that. You can scroll through the terms and conditions, or if you're happy enough with that, just hit agree and that'll get you started. So it brings you to a home page. Now, if this is your first time using the app, or Borrowbox in general, if you have never borrowed anything from Borrowbox before, this page is going to be blank, because you won't have any loans, you won't have any loan history or reserves or anything like that. So mine's quite populated here because I've quite a few loans and quite a long loan history at this stage. But just to bear in mind that if this is your first time using it, this will be a blank page. So I'm using an Android device at the minute, so the menu is along the bottom here on my device. Now, if you're using an Apple device, last time I checked, that menu was along the top of the screen. So, but you are just looking for that same menu. It's My Loans, EAudio Books, eBooks, and search function. So the EAudio Books are identifiable there by the little headphone icon over the book for listening to the book, and then you just have your eBooks there as well. So let's just get started with EAudio Books. So it does give sample books on the first page. So, you know, if you don't know what you're looking for, just have a scroll through. The top downloads one is always a good one to look at. And you can see there's some of the big books that are being spoken about at the minute. The Midnight Library, Where the Crawdads Sing, Richard Osman, that's been in the bestsellers charts for weeks now. So there is, you know, top quality titles here to borrow. Now, what I will say is, some of the publishers are very reluctant to give ebook or audiobook rights to libraries for borrowing, so it's not everything that you're going to find here, and that is due in part a lot to publishers' restrictions. So you can scroll or just browse through that, or if you have a specific category that you're looking for, you can see along the top of the screen there, if I just move my head, there's different categories and genres, as well as the different age groups. So if you're looking for something for children, you just select children, and then you can go into the categories there as well. So you have your genres like adventures, animal, you know, so if you have a child that's interested in animal stories, you can just browse through those. If you want to find out a wee bit more about what they're about, just tap it. So tapping it is a bit like turning the book over to read the back. So you get your blurb there, you get information about how long the story is. So the younger kids' stories, really, they're not very long at all, like that one there is 10 minutes, but as you go into the more children's novels, you will find that they're 4, 5, 6 hours long. But for now, I'm just going to go back into the adult categories and show you how easy it is to borrow. So if I wanted that one by Edna O'Brien, for example, I just tap it. I'm happy enough with it. Borrow, confirm that you want it, and you have the option to keep browsing or download now. So if you want to listen to it straight away, you can just go to download now. and it'll give you the option to either download it all in one go, or if you just look at the top of the screen there where the little menu icon is with the 3 dots and 3 lines, you can download chapter by chapter. So you might want to do that if you're using, say, mobile data and you just want to get a few chapters until you get somewhere where you have free Wi-Fi. Otherwise, you can just hit to download the complete book. So you can see there it's working away. It's chapter 1 of 47 is downloaded, 2 of 47. So once the first one is downloaded, you can start to listen. So
Belinda Audio and Audible Studios present this unabridged recording of Time and Tide, written...
So I'll just pause that. So you can see there in the bottom right hand corner there's a sleep function. So you can set that to, so if you like to listen to them in the evenings when you're going to bed, you could set that to go to sleep in 30 minutes, in 60 minutes, or at the end of the track. So it just means that the whole audiobook isn't playing while you're sleeping and you don't get completely lost. So if I tend to set it for the end of the track, and that way if you do nod off, you know exactly what chapter you finished on and you can just scroll back to where you listen to. The other thing is, if you find the narration a wee bit slow, you can up the speed a wee bit. Now it doesn't go, you know, sometimes when you speed things up it kind of goes that chipmunk sound. It doesn't do that, it just speeds it up, so you might want to do that. And then if you just go back to your loans page, the little stack of books there, my loans, you'll see that that book has been added to your loans. And every time you listen to it and stop, whenever you go back to it, it automatically starts playing from where you left off. So if you got that then and had listened to a bit of it and decided you didn't want it, it's very easy to return. So you can see there you have 2 options, to return or to renew. So I'm just going to return that one to show you how easy it is, and then just confirm your return, and that's it off your account. So it's moved from your current loans into your loan history. So you can always go back through your loan history and check out the ones that you have listened to. You know, so perhaps there was one that you really liked, you thought, oh, I might look for more by that author. You can always go back through your loan history for that. So that is your EAudio Books. If we go to EBooks, it's very similar layout. Again, you have selected titles just on your homepage there that you can browse through, or you can go up to the top and use the categories. Again, you have your adult or you have your children. So if you wanted to download your book, again, you just tap it, have a little read of the blurb, see it's something you're interested in, and then borrow. Confirm that loan. Again, it gives you the option to keep browsing or download now, so we will download now. And it's at this point where, if we're using the desktop version of it, you will be prompted to download the additional software that you need to read it online. So the ebooks have added features as well. So, and not only can you change the size of the text, but you can also change the background color of the text as well as the fonts. So it's set to an automatic one here, but if you tap the screen, it gives you this little menu. So you can see here at the bottom where it has a small capital A and a bigger one. If I touch that, it brings up this little menu for me. So you can see there with fonts, there's a drop down menu. So you can choose from Times New Roman, or you could use the dyslexia font as well if you were dyslexic, and this font has been designed to make it easier to read. So I'm going to go with Times New Roman. And then the theme is the background, so you can change it to a paper, and that brings a bit of texture to the background as well as dulling it a little bit. You could go for sepia, or you can go for high contrast night. So whatever you find most comfortable. Borrowbox will remember that then for every book that you borrow after that until you change it yourself. So you can use these little arrow or letter plus or minus to make the text bigger or smaller, but if you tap the screen again, you can just you can change that with your finger, you know, that motion. I never know what you call it, but you can just use that motion on your screen as well to make it bigger or smaller as well. So once you read, you know, and you're finished reading for the night, again, just tap the screen and use the arrow up in the top to return home, and that puts a bookmark on your page and closes the book. If you go back to My Loans then, and you want to read that again later on, it automatically opens it at the bookmarked page that you finished at. So Borrowbox is a cloud-based service. So what that means is if you had the app on your tablet and you had it on your phone and you had it on your computer, once you log in using the same account, you know, if you're listening to an audiobook on your phone and then you go to the kitchen and you want to play it on your tablet, it automatically syncs. So it's all connected. It's really useful that way. So the other thing there as well, I just want to show you, if I go back into eBooks, for example. So if you're flicking through these and you're seeing loads of interesting books that you really want to read at some stage, but just not right now, you can tap on any of those. And rather than borrowing it, just use the 3 little dots up in the top corner there, and that you can add to your reading list. So that's added to a list. It's kind of like your to be read pile as such. So you don't want it now, but you want to keep an eye on it and maybe get it at a later date. So I'll just show you that again. So you click on the one that you might be interested in. Now this has nothing, this doesn't affect the numbers of items you can borrow the same way reserves do. But if you just tap on the 3 little dots and add to reading list. So now whenever I go back to my loans page, where it has my loans, beside it you have my reading lists, and that shows you all the books then that you have added to your list. So it's bringing up the EAudio ones there, I have them in it, but if I go to eBooks, then you'll see the ones that I'm after adding there as well. So this is useful just for keeping an eye on books that maybe are alone, and you can just flick over and back to see if it's become available yet. Or as I said, just putting books on your list that you want to read at some stage, but not necessarily straight away. But you can borrow from that reading list at any time then as well once they are available. So if I decided I want to read Patrick Freeman tonight, I can, oh well, I've already got that one on. That's not a good example. Let me try this one. So here you can see I've maximized my loans and reserves. So I need to go back to my loans page and get rid of some of the ebooks that I have there already. So if I return the Time Traveler, and let's return Dolly Parton as well. And I should be able to go back to my reading list now and borrow. So download or keep browsing. I'll just keep browsing. And then the last thing to show you is your search function. So as I said, don't be disappointed if you're looking for a particular author and you type it in and there's nothing there from that author. It is just that we don't, as libraries, we don't have the rights to loan them out as the digital versions. But you can do more broader searches. So if you were looking to improve your gardening skills, you can just type in gardening. And that will bring you back what we have. So you can see there's audiobooks or ebooks. So if there's something there, you know, again, you just tap into it, have a wee read of the blurb and decide if you want to borrow or not. And then always back to my loans will always bring you back to the home page. So it's very simple to use, I find. If you do have any issues with it, again, just, you know, drop us a line, drop us a message on social media or send us an email. But now I'm going to jump over and show you a quick look at the desktop version. Hi, so I just jumped onto my computer here to show you what the desktop version of it looks like. So you see it's very similar to the app. You have the same menu, you have your ebooks, your eAudiobooks, your search function, you have your My Loans and your My Reading list there as well. So the first things first, let's sign in. Again, if it's your first time to sign in, it'll ask you to identify your library. I've already done that stage, so you can see here's Monaghan County Council. I've entered my library card number and my PIN, and then just sign in. So again, if you aren't a member, you can click the Join Now option. That will take you to the Libraries Ireland portal, where you'll get a temporary membership until you pop into the library with your photo ID and proof of address. Let's just sign in here for now. So if I go to my loan section, you'll be able to see that, as I said, because it's a cloud-based system, everything syncs. So this is the book that I just borrowed on the app there a couple of minutes ago, and it's there now. So again, very, very similar. If we go to the EAudio Books and search, you have your different sections there that you can browse through. or you can choose the age function. So this, I suppose, is where it's different on the app. You would have the categories of adult, young adult, or children. Here we have the all ages tab, and it's just a little drop down menu. So if it is for children you're looking for, just click children, and it changes all the recommended reads and everything to children's titles. I'm just going to go back to adult though. And again, so I'm in EAudio Books at the minute. If there was something I wanted to download, I can just click borrow, confirm the loan, and download now. So again, the difference comes in, I suppose, at this stage on the app, it would download and be ready to listen to straight away. Here we're downloading as an MP3 file, then you need to play that within whatever media player you have on your computer. So you can download it completely, or you can download it in smaller parts. Just depends what your broadband is like. So I don't know if you can see just down here in the corner, it's downloading it as a zip file, so you do need to unzip that to be able to listen to it. Whereas on the app, as I said, because it was originally designed as an app, all that's built in, so it's much easier to manage. Again, if I go to the eBooks here and show you how to download something here. So with the audiobooks, they're downloading as an MP3 file, which is playable on any computer or device really. The ebooks though are different. So if I go to borrow an ebook and confirm the loan, and if I download now, it's bringing me to a screen like this. So when you download an ebook, you're downloading it in an EPUB file, and that is only readable by certain software. So you can download it and transfer it over to an e-reader. Now this doesn't work in a Kindle. So Amazon have the Kindle so locked up that they only want you downloading and Amazon books or Amazon products that you've paid for. They don't want you getting free books or free ebooks from your public libraries. So the Kindle or the Amazon products are well locked down, but this will work on other e-reader devices. If you are going to read it on your laptop or desktop computer, you will need to download this Adobe Digital Edition software. Now again, you just need to do that once, and once it's on your computer it'll stay there, and once you've that downloaded, then you have to move your EPUB file into Adobe Editions to read it there. So it is a little bit complicated, and we have done an instructional video on how to do that, so I will link that into the details above this video. So you can see what I say whenever, it was designed for tablets and phones. All this software is built into your app. It's not built into your computer, so you do need to download these extra things. So as I said, if this is something you're interested in, just click the link and watch the other video on how to go through actually downloading the software. But what I find the website is useful for is if you are working on your computer during the day and you want to read something later on that night, you can browse through all your ebooks and audiobooks here, borrow whichever one you're interested in, and then once you get your tablet, just go into your My Loans in the tablet and it'll be there waiting for you to download, and it's much easier than just to read that way. But there is ways and means of doing it, or reading it on the desktop or laptop computer as well. It just is a little bit more awkward. So yeah, that is kind of, say, a quick overview of the web page version. Very similar layout. You have your genres. You can explore by age groups, decide if it's ebooks or audiobooks that you want. So do have a play around with it. If you do have any questions, drop them in the comments, or you can send us a message and we'll reply to you. Other than that, that is Borrowbox in a nutshell. Thank you.